internet is no good.
Yeah, internet's been
We don't
pants.
have the internet.
So we'll get into it, guys, when we get more people in. Gotta turn that down.
Wait, I'm gonna tell them to turn
Oh, I link the phones as well. So yeah, guys. I'm just going to be sharing around the streams, guys. So please be with. Hi, Khaleesi Prawns. How you doing?
Hello, guys.
So just bear with us, guys. I'm just trying to share around the stream. So there'll probably be a couple of minutes silence.
Anak, hinaan nyo nga yan, anak.
God, we look so freaking morbid. You on that phone and I'm trying to show it around.
This one, there's no internet with this one. I turned it off because it's gonna slow. Look.
Well, help me out a bit.
You gotta bear with us because we're trying to, did you post in the community that you're gonna be live?
Well,
No.
that's what I'm trying to do on both phones. So, you know, I don't want to do so much. What's that one do? It's painstaking time on this one. Three people. Who's the three people? Hi to the people who's just come in. We're
Yeah.
not ignoring you.
We're here,
Obviously,
we're just
I'm trying to share the stream around. The missus is looking through her pictures. So
I don't have this signal, guys, so.
Be back with you in 2 seconds. Well, it'll be a bit longer than 2 seconds, but I will try and get back to you in a minute.
So guys, it's so hot again today, every day, because it's summer. So we're all hot until September, even though it's still hot. I don't know if there's a little bit nicer, but it's always dry and hot, really bad. In this weather, guys, you drink a lot of water. There's not much water. Needs to be drink a lot. So how's everybody? One people want to know.
That's the joy, isn't it? Seeing if I can go to the end there. You don't understand that. I'm trying to sort of share it out. There's no one else does it.
No. We're live.
That's
Sorry
good.
guys if we're buffering. because the internet just came back today, this afternoon. It was down how many days? Three, two,
Two.
2 days down because for some reason, guys, outside in this neighborhood, there is a cable, a big cable down because of the big truck hit it. So it cut the cable. So
Excuse me.
everybody, bless you.
Thank you.
Everybody are, no internet. So
The whole estate, guys, there was
obviously
no
they are
internet whatsoever.
frustrated because of the children they depend on for online class. Well, it's weekend. Oh, not really, because since Monday, and we you know we are just waiting and waiting, and they said in the news, oh, it's gonna be 5 days. Oh my God, 5 days. We have to wait, and luckily we just it came back today. So that was the good
Yeah, it was
news.
quite a surprise
Teddy.
actually. I went upstairs to find the pump because we were going to pump up the swimming pool, which we're still planning to do. And then I noticed that our Wi-Fi was all flashing green lights, so I was happy with that because 2 days ago it just went boom straight down into a red light and wouldn't come on. So we're quite lucky that it actually came back on.
So yeah, and again, it's hot and hot every day. It's annoying. So we don't have swimming pool. We only
We'll
have,
get it up in a bit.
yeah.
Thing is though, guys, it needs a bloody clean out as well.
Yeah.
So right, I think I'm done.
Done.
I think so. I think I've shared it well. So yeah, guys. I hope everyone's well. Two people.
Hopefully, guys.
I have literally just uploaded a video as well, guys. The new video. It's of a £2.5 million mansion. It's an interesting one, guys. It has taken 2 days to upload, believe it or not. 2 whole days to upload. So please, obviously, check that video out after this live stream, and let's get that one big because I think it deserves that after being 2 days of uploading. Okay, so we're just waiting for more people
Yeah.
in order to see if anyone actually talks.
Yeah.
Punches Couches, how you doing, bud? Thanks
Oh,
for
good
coming
to
in.
see you.
Please hit that like button and share us around if you can, my friend. That'd
Super
be
hot
truly
in here.
appreciated.
Can you ask if the fan is here?
Yeah,
They can hear
Punches
it?
Couches, is the can you hear any wind noises or anything like that from the fan? Because we put the fan there, and I do ask every live stream if anyone can hear it. If you can, we'll sort it out. Sounds good. Awesome.
That's good.
So, how are you, my friend? How are you doing? Slightly hear it, okay. If we move it over there, how's that now? Can you still hear it? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Cool. So, yeah, I was just saying, Punches, that obviously we've just uploaded a new video, what's taken 2 whole days to upload. That's literally just uploaded before we went live. So obviously, please head over after this live stream and check it out if you would like to. It is a really good place. It's a £2.5 million mansion. When I was out in the UK, obviously the footage video called Exploring with Carl. So obviously I will. I think I've done it already. If not, I'm going to check actually. His link will be in the description down below in that video. So if you like his type of content, then make sure you head over to him and check him out. Exploring the car. I'm just going to double check that his links in, because when I upload the videos, because I upload it through the phone, I can't always get the link at the same time. I've got to add it in after, but I can't remember if I did or not. So
Can't even send my
that's
thing.
something else I need to do. I need to put
Signal
the
is really
monetization settings in. I've noticed YouTube thingy is all different now as well.
for the tax.
No, on can't remember what it's called. You know what I mean. Let's have a look. No, I'm not. Exploring with so there, that's it done there. So if anyone wants to check that video out, obviously please do so. That'll be absolutely amazing. But like I said, guys, it has taken 2 days to upload. So I really hope, obviously, people will check that video out. I will be doing, obviously, new explores, so on and so forth, when I get back to the UK. I'm determined to get a reaction video done today of exploring paranormal type videos. I'm determined to. I've been saying this for a couple of days now that I'm going to do it, but I've just not had the time. Plus, not only that, the internet's been down, so on and so forth. So I'm determined to get one done today, because it's been like 3 days now where we've been saying we've been going to do it and we haven't done it.
Because of the internet.
So previous explores we've done, what I've done when I was in the UK with them. So I'm going to be getting through them first, and then we're going into the reaction type videos. But I do want to try and keep a log of videos, so I never have to worry about getting one done. One day I can just get it uploaded onto the channel. So that is going to be a definite. I'm going to be definitely doing that after this live stream. And I've got a video in mind. Well, I've got 2 videos in mind. One's from exploring with Josh, and one is just a normal reaction video on 101 facts of the United Kingdom, which a lot of people, even I didn't know some facts of the United Kingdom. So it was quite interesting to watch that. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. I came with the Exploring with Carl raid the other day. Yeah, I remember Punches, I remember, buddy. I saw that video in my feed, but I saw you were live. Yeah, appreciate that, buddy. Like I said, it just got uploaded literally just before we went live, so I'm really happy with that, 'cause it's taken bloody days to upload due to the internet. And like the missus said, it was a truck basically what snapped.
Snap.
The
I had to fix that for in 2 days.
Yeah. So
And not only us, we don't have the all of the subdivision.
but what makes me laugh though is that we're supposed to be in lockdown, so no one should be travelling around about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's when it went down. So no one should have been travelling at that time anyway. You know. So I don't know. Is it true that a truck did it? Is it something else? What something else did? I don't know. But all we're thankful for is that it's back, and we'll be able to get obviously streaming for you guys again. I'll give it a few watches, man. Appreciate that. Cheers, buddy. Really do appreciate that. We also still, I'm going to put out a feed on the community page, actually, on mine and the Mrs. channel. Well, the Mrs. can do it herself. But we're going to put out a couple of things, like it's going to be like a poll type of thing. Actually, no. Do you want to do like a poll to see what you want to do on your channel?
Polls?
Yeah, do like a poll on the community post to see what content to do on your channel, or should we just leave it as a normal
just leave it just
comment?
there, because I'm just gonna have to do something, whatever I will upload. Because
Yeah, no, but what I'm thinking is trying to gain your watch channel or something.
yeah, but sometimes and
So if
also,
you just put up for cats, no one's really going to be watching
well,
that, are they?
I know it takes so long, but like if it, at least the channel
We
don't
need to make
it.
it at least 10 minutes.
Right, the channel don't make anything because I'm worried about the tax also. So for now, it's gonna
Well,
be
yeah.
like that.
That is another thing as well, guys.
Worrying me.
The YouTube community, even outside the United States, is now, they brought out this tax thing. It's like they're charging people outside the United States tax now, and I can't even get onto mine through AdSense. It won't even by the end of this month before, and if it's not, then I'm charged the whole weight of the tax. But if I can't get onto the bloody page, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? They don't think of things like this. Who's in different countries? Not many people has got decent internet. So yeah, I literally have no idea what I'm going to do to that, because I'm literally stuck in that matter to try and get the tax sorted. I know a few people's done
I
it.
don't like that tax.
But I physically can't even get onto the page. The page won't even load up to where I need to be to sort out this tax crap. What's happening? But guys, you tell me, do you think it's a good thing that YouTube's going to start charging tax? Or shall I say the American government through YouTube is going to start charging tax to people outside the United States? Or do you think it's a bad thing? I think it's a bad thing, because we're not American citizens. We're not entitled to pay tax to American government. But that's my own opinion, you know. I know probably a few people will agree with me on that, but I know a few people doesn't. So, but my opinion is that I'm not an American citizen. I do YouTube for the fun of it, and to bring in a little bit of money if we can each month. I mean, it doesn't pay you that much anyway, so why should we pay tax on the very little what we earn on YouTube? You know, and not only that, why should we pay tax when we're not even American citizens and it's going into the American pocket? But hey, that's one thing what YouTube's starting to do now, and I think it's bang out of order. I don't think they should be allowed to do it to start off with. But because that's like claiming China charging tax for everybody who uses TikTok, you know, because TikTok's a Chinese company. It's like a few other things as well. If you ever watch British shows, that's like the UK charging TV license just so you can watch British shows and that on the TVs around the world. It doesn't happen because it's not because you can't get away with that stuff. You know, so it's the exact same thing as the Americans charging tax for who's monetized to stream on YouTube. But hey, who am I? I'm literally a microscopic insect compared to these people in YouTube. You know. But does anyone? I mean, what I'm still looking at ways in order how to try and get my old channel back. I don't know if I still can, but I do want my old channel back, even if it's just to get the videos off it. I really do want my old channel back, just to get the old videos, because I had so many brilliant videos on that channel, which will go really well on this channel. But because I lost my channel, I can't get them videos, unfortunately. Hence the reason why I'm using other people's who I was with when I was in the UK. So I'm pretty peeved about that as well. And that was all because of trolls and flaming people reporting absolutely everything going under the sun. And there was a situation where it spread a load of crap about me, which lost a lot of me views and stuff like that. So we had to result in making new content, and regarding that new content was the regarding of the ending for my channel. Luckily for me, Dragon Lady still got her channel, so I managed to get a few videos off her channel and use it on ours. But yeah, it's not particularly a good thing when you've spent 6 years working on a channel and then all of a sudden, boom, YouTube just takes it and doesn't even give you a chance to get anything off, or even if they just take it down where no one can find it on YouTube, but I still allow you access to it so you can get the videos off. That would have been a better thing than completely deleting the channel where even I can't even get onto it. You know, because I had a lot of videos of the kids on that channel, of my children, and their memories, because obviously I moved to a different country because I wasn't allowed to see the kids for some unknown strange reason, but so obviously, you know, I had memories on that channel which I can never get back, and it's all down to YouTube. So this is why I'm wondering how I'm going to get that channel back, even if it's just getting it, get the videos and then put them onto this channel, and then obviously I can delete that old channel then.
Into the creepy dragon.
The creepy Dragon
already
Nation
deleted.
channel.
I don't think.
Yeah, but it's still on YouTube's database, isn't it? Because apparently, when I looked on Google for explanations, there was a person who lost his channel but managed to get in contact with YouTube, and they managed to get it back because it's still on YouTube's database. It's just that we can't access it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So obviously, because for example, if you think it was the wrong thing to do, that they deleted the channel, they can bring it back. For example, trolls or anything like that. But there's no way I can find in order to try and dispute it to YouTube in order to try and get it back. There used to be a tab on YouTube Studio where you could go speak to YouTube live. But I can't even find that anymore. That's disappeared off YouTube Studio, so I don't have a freaking clue what to do. I really don't, because like I said, I do want all them exploring videos I did, and I do want the memories of my kids, you know, like anyone would. You know, nothing makes sense anymore. No, it doesn't, mate. And the thing is, only YouTube went to shit when freaking all this COVID started. To be honest, it's gone absolutely freaking pants since COVID started, and it's not been the same. Just like many things hasn't been the same. You know, many things around the world hasn't been the same. But YouTube has seriously took the Michael with a lot of things, like just recently. But it won't be long until America starts charging people tax to stream on TikTok and all that, even though it's not an American company. But I don't think they will do that because they won't be able to get away with it. Where they can with YouTube because it's an American company. But technically, it's not anymore because it got passed on to somebody in Abu Dhabi, somewhere like that. They bought YouTube off. So technically it's not even an American company anymore. It's just run by American people. So why the hell are we getting charged American tax for something what's not even an American company anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. It might still be part of an American company, but I don't think I am. That's just it, clown world. Exactly, it is. I mean, I've noticed a lot of people coming off YouTube and starting to stream on um, other social medias now because they're just getting fed up of YouTube, and it won't be long until YouTube's down in the dirt, you know, because of what they're doing it to themselves. Because there's a lot of what can I say? There's a lot of different streaming platforms around the internet where people can build up a audience, which you can just advertise on here to go over there, and they don't have all these freaking rules what YouTube do, and yet they're so underestimated. I mean, I'm thinking and trying to find some of these platforms and start doing it myself. I've got to be honest, because it's like super chats and money, what you make from your videos. All you do is upload it to here, right? That's all you do. It's us what make the videos, it's us what takes our time out, it's us what freaking stream, and yet YouTube take a portion of it. Now obviously at the end of the day is, all you're doing is uploading it to it. So for them to take money that way, as well as tax, as well as other ways what they do it, it's like AdSense. AdSense give you the full lot, what they earn, because you're streaming their adverts onto your videos, you know. So yeah, it's absolute utter craziness what YouTube's doing. BitChute, Rumble. So yeah,
I stopped that.
oh, these are good. These are good. I don't really like cola or Coke,
Cola.
but I've got to be honest. These are actually pretty nice, you know. But yeah, so there's a lot of problems with YouTube. I'm just hoping, I really do hope that sometime in the future they will freaking put their ideas up and start realising what they're actually doing to creators like myself and
I don't
millions
have
of
mango
others.
this time. I have cola.
She normally likes mango. She does, doesn't you? Is that it? Or mango, salt and soya sauce. Oh, but because it's hot, we're getting ice pops today. So yeah, it's utter craziness, to be honest. But yeah, going back onto, will you tap back there
What am
while
I
I have
gonna
a
do? I'm
second?
right here live.
Oh, will you talk then? I'm moving away, guys. Hang on.
You're a pain in the ass.
You sit there.
This is a pain in the ass, guys. You know, doing cigarettes with the fat and blowing it to me. You're supposed to not doing that.
She knows I'm smoking, but yet she sits next to me.
What am I gonna do? It's alive.
No,
You're a pain in the
you
ass.
can wait
No,
till I
it's not.
finish.
You're supposed to not to. Because if you do, we should have no electric fan in front. Fan.
You can still, it's still going.
Is that right, guys? Doing smoke? I don't like smoke. It's not good. It's worse than the person that's smoking. Then you have the smoke. It hurts your lungs. It does. That's what people say.
Yeah, that's what people say.
And
There's
smoke
no
is not good.
scientific freaking evidence showing support in that matter, but never mind. But yeah, guys, so what I was going to say before is it's going to be different content, but it's mainly going to be abandoned places and paranormal videos, what we're
That's
going to be
good.
reacting
I'm
to.
glad you
I
quit.
quit smoking
I do wish you
it's
could
about
quit.
7 years. I wish I could. I really could. I really do. I was
You could if you don't think that every day.
What? No, I couldn't. Honestly, I physically can't do
You're
it.
always
The
an
only
option.
thing
You're always gonna have
What
to
helped
do.
me quit was tablets. and they started to climb again when I got a higher rank. Um, I just thought, sod this, I started smoking. It helps me with my stress levels, I've got to be honest, it does. I said to Mrs. last night, we were talking about this, I said, I absolutely hate it, I don't like smoking. I despise it. I've basically wrecked my life because I started when I was a young age. But it's something I can't seem to dwindle off anymore. And it's a good job, to be honest. I wasn't on them tablets before I came out here, because you can't get them tablets out here. You can only get, like, I think all I've seen is patches, and patches do not work for me. So, hang on guys, I'm trying to get into this.
This cola, guys, tastes really good. Wow.
Leak it everywhere. I use the vape pens to help me quit. Yeah, I've had vape pens before, buddy, and still didn't work. I'll use a towel. There we go. Yeah, still didn't work even on the highest dosage of nicotine. I used to be on them and smoking, so I don't know. I think if I'm going to quit, I'll have to go back, or wait till I get back to the UK, and I'll try the tablets again. But the only problem with them tablets, the doctors are reluctant to give you them, because apparently you can get addictive off them. But surely getting addictive off them type of tablets is nowhere near as bad as getting addictive on smoking, but you know. We just have to wait and see, guys. It's a nightmare trying to get into these. There we go. We've won. So yeah, I've tried vape pens. I even had one over here, didn't I? And it just didn't work for me. Even though I loved it, because I always get the ones what give a massive freaking cloud out, because that's basically me trying to tell my brain, saying that's not like a normal cigarette, so I might enjoy that more than a normal cigarette. But, and I've got to be honest, I did. I enjoyed it, but it just didn't help with me stress levels. I mean, I've been under so much stress just recently in trying to get back to the UK and sorting out military charities and trying to find jobs and so. Oh mate, honestly, I've been under so much, picking my life out of it. But luckily a little bit of stress has come off me, because I have got the help to get back due to a military charity helping me out. But I've still got the stress of getting a job. I need a decent paid job when I get back. And it's trying to find experience, and the jobs what pays well. I've got experience in quite a few places, but in the ones what pay well, I haven't got any experience, so they won't take you on. Now, my argument with that in the UK, it always has been for years now, is how can you gain experience if you can't get into that job in the first place? You know, the best thing for stress is exercise. Trust me. That doesn't even work for me. I tried that, didn't I? Going out for running, going to the gym, still didn't work. Still wanted a fag afterwards. Because that's what I did when I was in the army. You know, we were exercising every single day, but still smoked afterwards. So that it won't work, mate, for me. But yeah, so I agree, people do say exercise is good for stress, but I think it goes down to certain people, you know. I haven't got a big what's it called, self-motivation to quit, because a lot of people it's been easy, but for me I find it extremely difficult, really do. But life goes on, doesn't it? You know, I try and make my life as good as I can, and I go from there really. So whereabouts are you from, Punches?
Oishi.
Bullshit.
Cracker. From UK.
From UK?
Probably.
Are you from the UK, Punches?
Mhm.
Or are you from America? 'Cause that's Texas. Oh, nice. Okay. What time is it in Texas now, lad?
Nice.
It's got to be what? Early evening. 3:26 here. So I'm presuming it's going to be early evening. Or late night. I don't know. Probably late-ish night. About 10, 11 o'clock I would have thought. Could be wrong. Oh, there you go. Wow.
What time?
3:30
Oh my
a.m.
goodness.
So you're basically 13 hours behind us.
3:26 right here, PM.
13 hours, well, it's like a lifetime away, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Well, we appreciate you coming in, mate. We'll do. How is the COVID situation going over there? Like, are you in lockdown or the opposite side of the earth? It is, yeah.
You're just spicy.
Oh, that couldn't be.
Boy,
So what's are you in lockdown in Texas or?
boy.
Oh Christ! Flipped
You're
out.
good now. You're good now.
It's always good. 2-second rule. Thing is, it's weird because it goes up, but even though if you look to the west side of Texas, you're actually not as far to the Philippines. But if you look to the east side, you're miles away. But even if you go to the west side, because if you fly to the Philippines from Texas area, you will go to the east side because it's shorter,
Boy.
right? But you're still going to be 13 hours. Then you're basically going back to the future, really, because you're going from the past. You're flying, which will take less time, but you've jumped 13 hours in front.
Boy.
I find it so freaking strange, that. No lockdown, but it's complicated. The thing what I've got a gripe about the UK, actually, the UK want, for example, me and any other British national or anybody else who wants to fly to the UK, right, then you need to have a COVID test, and it has to be negative in order for you to fly to the UK. Now,
BRB.
huh?
BRB.
Alright. Now obviously we're under lockdown again here in the Philippines, and that's because the UK variant's got over here in the Philippines. Now I'm not having that they provided a negative test before they were flying, and then somehow contracted it before they came over, right? Because it only takes less than a day to get over it. It doesn't come up that quick. So that's telling me that they're not checking people in the UK borders to come out to countries, but they are for people coming in. It doesn't make sense, that. And also I got told when I land in the UK I've got to go into quarantine for 10 days. And they have these like specific hotels what's specifically for quarantine. Now, what is the point in going into quarantine if you've already shown negative that you've not got it. So you're going in, mixing with other people who's possibly got the virus, in more chance in gaining the virus. You know, to me that makes no freaking sense. Because then you're wasting money on getting a test done when, quite frankly, you're going to end up in quarantine anyway. So what is the point?
You're right.
I am right, I know. The UK government, guys, is fucked, honestly. They have no idea what they're doing. I mean, it's taken, what, 2-3 years just to come to a Brexit deal for all that crap. But they're saying they're trying to protect the British people, and that's fair enough, but what is the point? If you're negative on COVID, you're not going to get it by the time you land in the UK, you know. And putting them in with other people who's possibly got the virus, they're going to end up possibly catching it then, aren't they? Even though when they say they're not. Officials officially have no idea what they're doing. Medieval, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I totally agree with that. They have no. They're charging people, right, £5,000 if they go away within the pandemic lockdown. Right, if they actually fly away. There's 2 people who came over from Britain who's brought the UK variant over to the Philippines. Hence the reason why we're in lockdown again, due to these 2 people. Now, they should have been checked if they've got it before they even got on the plane. They are just letting illegal immigrants through the border without even testing them. Yet they won't let you back in if you are travelling US citizen coming back without a test. Yeah, I agree. Now there is something actually. Hiya Bill, how you doing, buddy? There is actually something what's come out with the illegal immigrants in the UK. Apparently within 24 hours they're getting deported back. It's finally come to where it's done that. It weren't that long ago when they were housing illegal immigrants in 5-star frigging hotels, and there was that many coming in. They actually got put into a military base, like it weren't a proper military base. It's just where the military stay to train, basically. It's good importance there. So they put them in there, and then the night they went in, they torched the place, as in they set the whole building on fire. And the person who, and the people who did it, turned around to them and said, "Oh, they didn't like it. They didn't like the beds. They didn't like the building. They shouldn't have been in there." Well, I'm sorry, but if you're going to come over to the country, what do you expect? You know what I mean? I found that absolutely disgusting. It made a massive crawl in the UK, that, to be honest. Torching our buildings just because they don't like it, but yet they think they can come over and start a new life. No. So yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's about time that they're starting to ship the fuckers back to their own countries, because it's been a long time coming for that to happen. The Dems changed the definition of deportation during Obama era. Convenient, eh? Well, yeah. Yeah, totally agree. Oh, that's cold on my teeth. Oh, so, but yeah, I just find it absolutely unbelievable for people who come in one of our military bases. It's fucking bang out of order. No, I totally agree with the UK population when they raising outcry about it, because it's totally wrong. You try and help these people, and then all of a sudden they do that to us just because they didn't like the building or the beds. It's honestly bang out of order. I mean, they cause thousands of pounds of damage. But yeah, and it's only just been within the last couple of days that they've actually said that they're going to, within 24 hours, they're getting deported back to their own countries. But even though that's what we wanted, it's still coming out of the UK population pockets for the flights or the ships or wherever they're putting them on. You know, I think they should get back on the little dinghy boats and push them off the ocean. You know, so it doesn't come out of any of our pockets, because it's bang out of order. It's always us what's suffering with stuff like this. It comes out of our taxes, and then our taxes go up, and with us losing more and more jobs every single day in the UK because of this COVID situation, we can't physically afford to live. So then our country's going into a third world country, because there's people starving because they can't afford to even go out and get food, because the taxes and all that keep going up, but the wages don't. The wages stay down bare minimum. Medieval, how's it going today? From Punches. So yeah, it's absolutely bang out of order, and I mean, I pretty guarantee that America's going to be probably in the same suit. I don't know what the illegal immigrants are like in America, but in the UK it's absolutely devastating. Just woke up to a massive thunder. Is it thunderstorming, Medieval? Medieval, you're British, aren't no, you're American. I don't know. Medieval, where are you from again? Can't remember. UK is footing the bill just like us over here. Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. So Punches, what do you guys think about obviously this situation where YouTube... Oh, Canada, are you from Canada? No, you're from Texas, aren't you? American. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting completely confused here. So what do you guys think about the tax thing, what YouTube's doing to the rest of the world? Like, do you think non-Americans like should pay American tax for YouTube? Oh, are you Canadian? That's it. You're from Canada, aren't you? That's it. I remember now. Yeah. Yeah. I remember now. You're from Canada. I remember you saying that. So, what do you guys think about like non-American citizens paying tax to YouTube, which is just going to go straight into the American government's pocket? What do you think about that? Because it's just funny how all of a sudden the American, what's the word? Basically, the money for America is going down. They're in crisis. Just like a company like YouTube, they know that thousands and millions of people use it every time, every day, all the way around the world, and then all of a sudden the tax comes out for it. I think they're tightening anyway to make money anywhere in the world. Yeah, I agree with that. But do you think it's a bit weird how the American government is getting low on funds, and then all of a sudden this tax comes in? Do you think it's right that non-American people should pay? Because basically that's what they're doing. They're making people who's not around the world pay for things through YouTube, because they know millions of people use YouTube. You know, we are 30 trillion dollars in debt. Oh wow! I know that we're. Oh, what's this?
Iced coffee.
Oh, my favourite. I know obviously the UK's been in debt, especially now, but we was in debt before, and this is what not a lot of UK personnel know, that we've been in debt since World War II, because World War II put us in debt big time, and we've been in debt since then. So obviously this has just annihilated us. They're treating it like an export. Are they really?
Medieval.
Medieval, yeah. Bill's in as well.
I make cold coffee.
I'll make it better though.
I put fresh milk in this.
I know, that's right. Say it's good and milk.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's completely wrong. I mean, the missus used to live in America, and even she thinks it's wrong. Trying to make money, all should pay, or no one should pay.
Hi
Yeah,
Bill, hi Medieval, hi everybody.
I agree with that, even for the American people, because the American people already pay quite a lot of taxes, just like everyone else in the world do for their own countries. YouTube is a free streaming platform.
Yeah, I live in this
Right.
States almost 15 years.
People who manage to get on YouTube has to have the internet in some sort of way, either through the phones, which they pay monthly, or they have top-ups, or they pay for Wi-Fi and broadband. Either way, they're paying the internet fees.
Yeah,
And obviously YouTube is part of the internet, it's part of Google, Google's part of internet. So if we're paying that, we're basically paying double. Because if we're paying the Google and we're paying the internet fees, no matter what you're streaming on, either the phone or the Wi-Fi or whatever,
how big this is.
then
Two. You get two.
if they're asking for money to stream on, for people who, well, it's only for monetized people what will be paying tax, okay? So, I think for the very little money what YouTube pay people as it is, I don't think you should be paying twice, because you're already paying the internet in order for you to go on YouTube to stream. Even though the internet and Google and YouTube is all totally freaking different, it's still going into the same bucket, because obviously YouTube and it's the internet what you've got to pay. So you're basically paying twice, because you don't pay for TikTok, you don't pay for Instagram, you don't pay for these other streaming platforms. It's just YouTube what's starting to do it, and it's why. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So yeah, it is completely craziness. Completely craziness. Who's heard of? I put out a video actually the other day. Yesterday, I think. No, not yesterday. Sorry. Day before. No, was it day before? I don't know. I can't remember. It was a couple of days ago, anyway. Just before the internet went foobar, and it was about the Colorado shooting in Boulder. What's your views on that? I think it's like stupid. I mean, just think about it this way: the mass shootings, what's going up just recently in America since Biden came into presidency. It's wrong, isn't it? It's completely wrong. I was saying to Mrs. Biden came over the news yesterday and said he's going to put a ban on all assault rifle type weapons and high velocity magazines. Right? That's fair enough. But he says obviously, Bob, ice cream. He's just walked past. Oh, he's there. So,
yeah, ice cream.
yeah, he said he's going to do this.
What do you want?
To try, same as before, but please. He said that before to cut down all these mass shootings and obviously all that. But it's not going to though, is it? Because he says high velocity magazines, which is assault rifle magazines, which can fit into normal weaponry, normal rifles, and assault rifles, okay? But you can get fully automatic pistols that can do just as much damage as what an assault rifle can, right?
Yeah.
The only way I can see that if they actually truly want to stop all these mass shootings and so on and so forth, right, is to ban weapons and guns completely. But they will never do that because obviously I think it's within the Bill of America, I think it is, isn't it? That every person's allowed to carry a weapon. But the thing is, it's going to be thousands of assault rifles across America throughout all these years of them being allowed to have assault rifles. So what they're going to do, go to every single household, because there's no documentation to say who's got all these assault rifles. So what they're going to do, go to every single household across the country and confiscate the assault rifle. And they're not going to do that, are they? So they're not going to, because they said obviously the only ones what don't get confiscated is the ones who's part of gun clubs. Now, I'm sorry, but when I read up research like what's happened in the past, there's been a couple of people who's been a part of a gun club what's gone freaking mental and freaking started killing everyone. I'm not saying that's what's happened in Florida or Colorado, but it has happened in the past. So you think it should be one rule for everybody? You know, it doesn't make sense. Putting down to tougher inspections for when you go and purchase a weapon. Let's just check the chat. Yeah, seen the video from Bill. Buy another crazy convenient gun control bullshit. Yeah, I totally agree. Punches. Rifles kill under 400 people a year. Pistols kill 5 times that. Fist only killed more than... Exactly. You've just proven my point, Punches. That pistols are the most common weapon in America, and yet they kill more people. You don't see Biden banning them. You know, he's just banning these assault rifles, what's involved in mass shootings. If they do that, the entire reason we have the Second Amendment. Yeah, that's it. The Second Amendment said you can carry a weapon, isn't it? So that's the problem. What America's got, they're trying to come down. Nubsy, you are a gem. Thank you for that $2 donation, my friend.
Oh,
that
wow.
is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, the Second Amendment, where you're allowed to carry a weapon in America. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a couple of states in America where you're not allowed to carry a weapon. You're allowed to own one, but you're not allowed to carry it out on the streets. I don't know if I'm right with that. So if they can do that, then why can't they do it throughout America? Because surely, if anyone then is captured with a weapon out on the streets, right, they can be arrested and detained for it. Am I right or am I wrong? Then you're still technically abiding the Second Amendment. That's what it is. Second Amendment, because you're still owning a weapon, which the Second Amendment holds, but you're just not allowed to carry it out in public, you know. And to have it in your house, then you should have a license to hold that weapon. Canada's trying to buy back an assault type gun from its citizens. Started from a few minor incidents. Is Canada allowed to carry weapons as well, are they? I didn't know that. I thought it was just America. As if you bought your guns from the Gulf of Canada. I know, how crazy is that? Had to show love to my family. Y'all are great. Honestly, Nobs, you are awesome, buddy. We really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
What is it?
He's saying that obviously he's had to show love to my family. Y'all are great.
Yeah.
So honestly, really appreciate that, Nubsy. Appreciate that. Bunches, couches. It's our duty to carry a weapon to keep the government in check. Right. So, what do you exactly mean by that? Keep your government in check. Is like, if they come out of line, would you shoot them? You know what I mean? What exactly do you mean by that, Punches? Constitutional carry. Yeah, like I said, I totally agree with that. But if you're getting so much gun crime in America, with people just killing everybody because they can get a gun, then surely if you remove that problem by carrying guns out on the street, surely it will remove the problem of gun crime, what's actually happening. Now, don't get me wrong, if people are carrying a weapon for protection, then that's fair enough. But at the end of the day is, if there's no guns out on the street in general, then they won't need to carry a gun for the protection. So it's kind of helping the fact in overall. It's like the UK, for example. The only people who carry guns is the armed police. Okay, we don't carry guns. We're not allowed to carry a gun, and neither does the police. The police don't use guns these days. You know, and we've never had this situation. Sure, we've had knife crime, and knife crime is a similar problem, but at the end of the day it's still nowhere near as bad as what gun control or gun crime is in America. Some laws are open, carry meaning your weapon has to be seen. Okay. Nubs from Bill saying hiya. If they come for the Second Amendment, we get to use the Second Amendment. Okay. On things like this, you know. Because obviously before I open my mouth, if I don't understand something, I won't say nothing, but to my understanding, I will bring it out. And obviously I'll ask people such as yourselves to clarify what it means, because obviously, like I said, I'm British, I don't understand this. So how are you going to ban my knowledge of how a firearm works? People can make their own if they are forced to do so, they will. I totally agree with you. But people can make a knife, you know, and yeah, it's still nowhere near as much of a problem as what the gun crime is, you know. So, you know, it's catch-22, and I think that if they just got rid of the situation, it will come down $1 trillion to 1. You know, it really would. But you can understand it that majority of the US citizens carry a weapon because it's their Second Amendment right to do so, and that's totally fine because they're following what they believe is right. You know, so it's catch-22. What is right and wrong, isn't it? UK is trying to ban blades now. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I totally agree with them. You know, but the thing, you're not allowed to carry a blade out on the street anyway if it's over 3 inches. If it's under 3 inches, like that much, right, you're allowed to carry it out on the street, as long as it's not a lock blade. It has to be one where you just pull out and it falls back in, even with a bit of pressure it falls back in. You know, they're the only type of blades you're allowed to carry out on the street. Even though you can do damage, you can't get wrong. You'll probably get confiscated if you get caught by police. But if it can't be a lock blade, and it can't be over 3 inches. If it's either of them two, you'll get done for possession of a deadly weapon. In the USA, I think you can make your own automatic weapon without serial numbers. Oh, well, you can make a weapon, of course you can. All you need to do is get the proper parts, which you can buy weapon parts, you know, wherever, really, and you can make your own weapons. But what I'm saying is would people rather want to make, because if they could do that, don't you think they would do that instead of buying them? You know what I mean? Because if they can buy them, fair enough. But if they can't, yeah, they can make them. But would people really want to make them? You know, if one, it's going to be more expensive, and two, it's going to take a longer time for them. In the USA, I think you can make your own. Yeah. Canada banned blow darts a while back, so a tube is legal if you. I can understand blow tubes because obviously you could put anything in, like darts, in it. But this is where it goes a bit stupid. Yeah, blow tubes are dangerous, but are they going to start banning darts for dartboards? Because that's all what's in the blow tube. You're allowed to own a tube and you're allowed to own a dart, but if you put the two and two together, you know, you're not allowed. You know what I mean? This is where it gets a bit ridiculous. You can understand about a knife because it's not used for anything else apart from cutting, and you can understand about a gun because it's not used for anything else apart from shooting. Alright, but blow tubes, right? There's two things what can be used. A tube can be used for anything, and a dart you can play can be used for anything really, or mainly used for playing darts. So if you put both and both together, it's not allowed. Really? I think they would, if their government was unjustly doing something against its people. No, they say it's because they have no sporting purpose. Really? Is that what it is? Because there's no sporting purpose, so they're banning blow darts. Really? So if it's got a sporting purpose, you're allowed to have it, are you? See, this is what's ridiculous about the matter. You know, a certain type of gun, but that you can go back onto knives and guns, right? Guns, only a certain type of rifle is used for sporting purposes. That ski sport, what you do with carrying, they've got to shoot. That, I don't know type of, it's a rifle, I know that, but I don't know what type it is. It's not an assault rifle, it's nothing like that. So, and it's definitely not a pistol, right? It's an actual shooting rifle, like a 2.2 or something like that. So, if that's the case, then why are they allowing guns? Because not all guns are used for sporting purposes. Air rifles, there you go, air rifles. They are going after airsoft too. See, I've got airsoft guns. I've not. Why they are going after airsoft? Because airsoft guns are identical to the actual guns. The only difference is the inside components. Now, obviously, somebody can change them inside components to make it into a real gun, you know. And again, like Punches, I think, said earlier on, it doesn't have a serial number on, so it can't be traceable. So, yeah, you can understand why they're going after airsoft, because obviously all airsoft guns, unless, there's different types of airsoft guns. The majority of the airsoft guns you can buy which I have. The very first one was an SA-80 A2 assault rifle, and that was fully made out of plastic, and it was blue plastic to show obviously it was an airsoft gun, and it was nothing more. It was completely plastic, crap, power on it was rubbish. You know, you couldn't even injure a fucking squirrel with it. But I also had a Glock 17 that was made out of full metal. I had an M14 completely it was an electric gun, so that caused a lot of pain. You know, so all them was metal. I also had an L95 sniper completely made out of metal, and I also had a single barrel shotgun, assault shotgun, and that was made out of plastic, but it was completely, it was really, really powerful. And even though with the shotgun ones, the cartridges look like exactly like a shotgun shell. The only difference is a little hole at the top where it feeds like 3 BBs or 4 BBs in at a time when you shoot it, so it fires out like 4 BBs at a time. So you kind of understand why the airsoft rifles are good because you can get metal ones and you can change compartments inside to make them real. The way things are going soon, it'll be illegal to do anything without permission from the government. That's called tyranny, brother. Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, I did have all them. So you can understand why, but again, it's classed as a sport. So why is people going to get? Because you have to have an airsoft license in order to have this. So if you've got an airsoft license, you know, even if you have to go to the police station like once a month or something, or the police come round to your house once a month or something to check these weapons and not used for any other purpose means, then it should be all good because it is a sport. Airsoft is a sport, you know. Yeah, so obviously only all I had was airsoft weapons because I used to do airsoft quite a bit when I lived in the UK. I really enjoyed it. Bob! So yeah, I got a bunch of airsoft guns. And, so yeah, there's a lot unregulated and allowed for home defence. Oh really? I didn't know that. There is one place actually, can't remember where it is, it's an Asian country where they banned airsoft. Yeah. I remember watching it on a programme and they've actually banned the whole use of airsoft or anything to do with airsoft. Even watching it on YouTube or anything like that, they completely banned it. But yeah, because there was I think it was an American who was going over to, I think it was Australia, and he was allowed to take his airsoft weapons as long as they were covered and got documentation saying that they were airsoft weapons. He was allowed to fly with them. The only thing he couldn't take over, obviously, was his gas, because obviously gas in a plane, it doesn't match. But yeah.
How is it?
Good as always, love. So yeah. But again, airsoft, it's not as bad as what people make it out to be. You know, the way it's going, they're going to be banned on Nerf. So yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think Nerf's just as bad as airsoft because obviously airsoft, you've got your gloves. You have to wear. Well, you don't have to wear gloves, but people do. You do have to wear a face shield. You know, and that's about it. As long as your face is protected, you know, you don't have to wear anything else. You don't have to wear a face shield for Nerf, and so to me, Nerf is 10 times dangerous than what airsoft is. Even though Nerf is a little rubber foam dart what gets now, if that hits you in the eye, you're pretty much messed up, really.
Say hello.
Oh.
Hello, but
no. I thought that was in Singapore. It could be punches. I don't know though. All I do know is it's some part of somewhere in Asia. But yeah, it's completely crazy how the world's working.
Guys, I'm combing my daughter.
She's not combing. She's not combing her daughter herself. She's combing her daughter's hair.
Daughter's hair. I said I'm combing my daughter's hair. Yeah. Right here, guys.
Used to have shotguns, hunting rifles, pistols, and one SKS and a Lars. Got rid of them long ago though. Oh nice, okay. I do like the SKS, gotta be honest.
Yeah, it's like PUBG.
Yeah, it's like PUBG.
PUBG game.
Big GUV says it's Nerf or nothing. Takes away Nerf. But seriously, guys, it's like with a thing, Nerf, you can get it in someone's eye, and it'll potentially blind them, because some Nerf guns are quite powerful. You know, with airsoft, you've got face protection. You have to have face protection. You know, otherwise they won't allow you to play. So for something to be potentially dangerous, like smash your eye out your socket, it won't ever happen because the masks have to be airsoft certified. Sorry, yeah, airsoft certified, yeah. You can put a thumbtack on the tip of the Nerf dart. Yeah, of course you can. You can even put a full side dart in front of a freaking Nerf dart. And yet, they're not classing that as dangerous as what an airsoft gun is. Why? Granted, Nerf guns don't look anywhere near like freaking real guns, but at the end of the day they're just as dangerous in my opinion.
May masuklay dun. Kalili ka ba? May masuklay dun.
So yeah, with Nerf darts, you can hide bloody anything in Nerf darts. But with a little round plastic BB, you can't hide nothing in that, can you? You know, airsoft shoot. That's next, Full Metal Jacket Nerf darts.
I used to have a baby gun before a long time
I
ago
was
for
start gun safety when I was really quite young. Yeah, some people do punches and that's a good thing, but a lot of people don't bother. You know, people should be taught gun safety throughout, you know, but a lot of people don't seem to bother teaching it to kids or anything like that. Even adults, when they go to buy a gun for the first time, they're not taught gun safety. They have no idea. They just like the idea of owning and holding a gun. See, out of my years, I've shot a lot of weapons, and like I said, I've owned airsoft weapons which are identical to the weight, to the looks, to everything, to the real weapon. You know, and every single weapon what I've held and fired and owned, I've always familiarised myself with how to strip it down and how to make sure everything's done correctly on that weapon before I even took place in using it. Even the airsoft ones, I basically familiarise myself with everything on it. 8 million new gun owners this year in the US. Most of those guns end up in shoeboxes and closets. I agree, and apparently back in January was the highest sales in the US for guns, especially assault rifles. Now, how about that? Biden says he's going to ban assault rifles, and then the sales for assault rifles back in January spikes up to the highest amount ever. You know? So, again, I don't think he's ever going to get to the end of banning it. Because even if he bans the sales, there's still going to be thousands out on the streets. So without going round door to door and asking for the assault rifles, which then that's not going to happen, because in order to go into a property you need a warrant, and if you get a warrant you need to go to the courts to obtain a warrant. You know, it's never going to happen. There's too much messing around just to confiscate a flaming assault rifle. It's no point. And that's even if the property even has an assault rifle. So you could be doing all that messing around to go into that property, and turns out that there's no assault rifles in there. So this is why it'll never happen. Control them during elections. I agree. You do, yeah. Totally agree with. Who did you vote for? Guys, this is what I want to know. Who did you vote for? Did you vote for Biden or did you vote for Trump again? That's what I want to know.
I want to know who likes it. I know we don't have to be in political, but we're just curious, guys.
If
Oh
you
my
ban
gosh,
guns,
Trump. Oh my god, I do love Trump. I really do.
if you ban guns, criminals will still get their hands on one. Of course they will. It's like anywhere in the world, Bill.
You know,
But at
Trump.
the end of the day is, if there's not many out on the streets, then it's going to be even harder for criminals to get hold of it. It's like the UK. We have gun problems sometimes. You know, there's always a criminal somewhere in the UK what will go out and cause havoc with a gun. But the most problem what we've got in the UK, they're not real guns. They're either pretend plastic kiddie BB guns, what's been painted black,
True.
right? Or there's a very few chances that it is a real gun, you know, and they're all treated the exact same way. The police arm response getting such regardless what it is. Arm response getting such regardless what it is, you know, and that's how you've got to get onto it, obviously, because the normal copper in the UK, they don't carry guns, they only carry tasers, you know. But it's like anywhere in the world. There was always going to be that little loophole where you can get a hold of a gun. But if you try and cover all the loopholes to the point where it's hard to get your hands on a gun, then, you know, it's going to be even hard. It's going to be a lot easier to have that way of form of controlling gun crime, if that makes sense. But let's be honest, gun crime in the United States is a lot higher than anywhere else in the world. A lot higher. I mean, there's over 4,000 deaths a year to do with gun crime. You know, it's a really big number, that. It could be more, I think, I don't know. I've got to be honest, out of all the faults, I like Trump. Even though I think some areas he could have tackled a little bit easier and a little bit more sensitive, I think I do like Trump. Biden, I don't. So from what he's trying to do, no. Because if I'm right, I think Biden is even what. Trump just closed the borders down, didn't he, to stop people coming in just before he left office. And Biden said the first thing he'll do is reopen them borders to let people come in to the country. I don't think that's right. You know, Trump was actually, even though he was a businessman and he wasn't really all the so-called know-it-alls claiming do. You know, because the difference is Trump actually saw the normal people, how the normal people were suffering and stuff like that. Politicians don't see that because they're always sitting in a freaking office all day long, talking out their arse, saying they're going to do this and that and this, and it never happens. Where Trump actually came from the outside, looking at all these people on what the politics have done. So that's why I think Trump was a lot better at being a president, even though he had his faults. Don't get me wrong, he had plenty of faults, you know. I still stand by what Trump was trying to do. He made some mistakes, but he was very good for the US. Yeah, I agree.
I'll say that.
Punches.
Yeah, I know. It's actually, guys, long time. I know. Just like when I was in America last year. Was that last year? Yeah.
No, year before.
Are you sure? Because I came back March, February last year, 2020.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Last year.
Last year, guys, I was there, and every rally we always went to the rally, guys. It's just like because we love it, you know. Always in Las Vegas, whatever day, Arizona, you know. We're always going to that rally since then, from day one, you know.
There was
2016, yeah.
didn't vote, but like Trump, had his problems, but was one of the only few presidents we've had that wasn't afraid to tell other countries to kiss off if needed. I mean, I totally agree with that. He wasn't. He told other countries, you want to start with us, we'll start back. And I like that, you know what I mean, because it shows dominance.
So
And
strong.
if anything, if more presidency was like that, I think less wars would be fought. because some wars, if you get a leader saying you're going to do something, we'll come back at you 10 times. You know, other people will think, whoa, hang on, where's this guy come from?
Yeah.
You know, we sure we want to mess with this guy? And 9 times out of 10, it went towards him, you know. And
BRB.
everyone knows what Kim Jong-un is like. He was a freaking nightmare. The thing is, wars start when they see an opposite side with a weak leader. If you have a weak leader, they're going to see the country as weak, you know. And that's one thing Trump didn't want. Trump didn't want to make America look weak, and that's why he did what he did. Nobody fucked with us for 4 years. Exactly, they didn't. You're right. I mean, don't get me wrong. The only thing, I mean, I'm British, right? I'm going to hold the thing, but I'm talking out of facts more than me being patriotic to my country. we've got a weakish type of government. Our government's fucked. The only thing why people don't fuck with the UK is because of its military might. We've been, with our military power, we've been the most feared country for the military power for generations. We always have been, all the way going back hundreds of years, you know. And for a small island, what we are, you know, nobody has even tried to invade us. Well, sorry, they have tried to invade us, but they always fell. You know, they never succeeded, apart from once, which the Roman Empire actually came across into UK, landed in England. But that was only because we allowed them on the term of we will live, was agreed by the Roman Empire emperor at the time. But when he died and the next Roman emperor came, he thought he could treat the Britons like shit and decided to retaliate against them. And then that was just a bad thing for the Roman Empire, which basically turned into slaughter. It killed every single Roman emperor, Roman soldier going, and which means the Romans lost the UK, you know. And there was only one emperor out of many who people can say, oh, well, the Vikings took over the... No, they didn't. The Vikings actually landed in Scotland first. Scotland was not part of England at that point. And yeah, Scotland got took over. As soon as they came into England, I can't remember which king it was now, but our king, I think it was King Edward, actually pushed back the Vikings, and the Vikings never returned to try and invade the UK again. And it's happened ever since. You know, our military might have put the chills up to a lot of imposing enemies, including Russia. You know, the Russians are quite threatened by us. This is why we're the only country they actually look at, you know, and trying to gather stuff off us. Canada is still having trouble with China to get the 2 Johns back. Oh really? I've not heard about that. Being on that island, what helped a lot. Exactly, yeah. That's our strength of defence, is because we're surrounded by water. No other country like that, you know. Apart from obviously Australia, Philippines, and Ireland, but something with that. And then you've got a strong army at the back of you, which is the British Army and the British military in general. If you've got that strong might on an island, what's surrounded by water, and there's not many ways to get onto British soil, you know, you can kind of see
just how hard it always has been for invaders to tackle England, because even the Romans, when the person actually came, the emperor actually was allowed to be in England. Even he offered the British soldiers and the British fighters then a chance to fight for Rome, because he was so impressed of how they was fighting against the Roman Emperor. Because at that time, guys, a lot of countries feared the Roman Empire. The Romans had to invade because they didn't know how to get over the English Channel. They didn't know how to get over the seas properly without the British knowing and causing retaliation for them to get onto the island. They just couldn't work it out whatsoever, and they couldn't do it. Like a castle with a big ass moat. Yeah, exactly. It's completely right. Yeah. This is why, one of the reasons why, I mean, look at the Germans back in World War II. The Germans kept sending ships over to try and conquer the United Kingdom up in the north, starting with Scotland again. They couldn't do it. As soon as one of their ships got anywhere near the UK, they got sunk. And this is why the Orkney Islands are covered in German wreckage, all the way over to part of the North Atlantic. You know, they didn't get anywhere near. Then they started with the Blitz in London. Yeah, there were bombings and stuff like that. But at the end of the day they lost a hell of a lot more than what we did, because we had sea forts, which is just down off the coast of Dover. And we had obviously the Spitfires going up over to shoot down the planes what were bombing Scotland. They just couldn't do it. They couldn't handle it. The Germans couldn't even invade. The only Germans what actually stepped foot on English soil was the POWs, what was captured at that time. Yeah, you're right. The Brits did invent the radar. Yeah. So people can look at us as, oh, it's only a puny island, we ain't got nothing. But I tell you what, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying it to back British up because I'm patriotic of the country. I'm talking about it because it's the known facts that, you know, and that's why not many people try and fuck with us. There's any country who wants to start with America, America automatically rings up Britain and asks them to join them and help them. Vice versa. If someone starts with us, we ring up America, because obviously it's a bigger army, you know, and the American army is just as feared, but it's mainly for the size. So if you've got a feared army with the size, you know, you kind of come invincible, if that makes sense. So
I'm back. I'm on and on, doing things, taking care of the dog.
even though America and British hasn't always been friends and allies, because obviously Britain owned America at one point.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's where their Independence Day comes from. Ever since then, we have actually become good allies, and we always have been, and we probably always will be. You know, but this is something what comes down now as are named after British cities. For example, Manchester, Birmingham, New South Wales, other places in America is named through the UK. Hi.
Ay, helmet? Ay, kukunin yung latas?
So,
No, not this one.
Dalawa.
Other one. Oh, dalawa?
so yeah, but it actually, it's an interesting story. If you look into the history of it all, it's really interesting. when the English actually invaded America and America was losing compared to the UK, the UK was actually dominating America, and the general at the time, an American general, didn't want this to happen, and neither did the president at the time. So they did something what they've always been at war with, and that was get a pirate involved. Now the pirate didn't have sides, didn't like the English, didn't like the Americans, he just was his own person who wanted to always gain something. And anyway, in the end, managed to get in touch with this pirate. And he made a deal with this pirate saying that because this pirate was in this certain island down near Florida somewhere. And he needed a safe passage going up to export his piracy goods and all that. And basically, he made a deal with this general for this safe passage. He said, I'll help you if I can get safe passage, because it was this passage where this general's navy's troops always round and stops the piracy going. Anyway, so this pirate then went to the British and started thinking. Anyway, became friends with this general in the British, and overheard this attack, what was going to happen, and if it happened, the whole of America would fall. So this is why this general didn't want this to happen. He was getting anything he could to help him. America would fall completely, and it would be British rule completely all over. So anyway, this pirate then went back to this American general, told him the English plan, told him the English rules. So basically like a spy, but it wasn't a spy where he was undercover. He was out in the open, purposely getting friendly with the British generals. And it was due to this British general what leaks this information out, and this pirate overheard. And in time, the American general got in touch with the Spanish general, who was in the area at the time, coming up from Cuba or Dominican or somewhere along there, basically for asking for help. And by the time the British got to this area where they was going to place the attack, the Spanish actually helped the Americans, so then they came a greater number against the British, and that was where the battle started. Because they basically cut off the British going to where they needed to go to. In the end, anyway, British thought, you know what, have your country back, and they started sailing back home then. And that's when the war ended, and that was on the July 4th, and that's why you celebrate the Independence Day in America, because that was when the end of British and American war was together. Who knew tea would cause such a ruckus? Americans got the nukes, that's what really stopped the world wars. Yeah, I would say, but they only atomic bombed twice, if I remember rightly, in Japan. They didn't do it in Europe. They didn't really, even though they had a part in Europe, it wasn't a bigger part than it was when they was over in Japan and Asian areas. They still had quite a few numbers in Europe, don't get me wrong, but the way it played out is that Britain was doing the Germans and all that in Europe, and America was doing the Japanese and the other empires around that area at that time. So it was kind of split, but together, if that makes sense. Yeah, it did. You're right. So yeah, it's crazy, and obviously ever since Independence Day started and everything like that, we've never bothered. We had no ever interest in going back to America, and ever since then we became besties friends, people call it, and we've been allies ever since the Americans got in war, the British did. But I can't help but think, going all the way forward to World War II, is we was already at war with the Germans a few years before the Americans started joining. And I think if the Japanese didn't bomb Pearl Harbor, my belief is I don't think the Americans would have ever got involved. I could be wrong, but I don't think they would, because it was only a couple of years later we actually asked for the Americans' help in order to push back the German threat. Even though we was doing okay at the start, we was losing really amount of numbers, and because this is where I was saying that an incredible force still needs numbers, and obviously if we was an incredible force back then, but we needed the numbers, and getting help from the Americans at the time gave us them numbers. So I think obviously if we didn't ask for help and Pearl Harbor didn't happen, I don't think the Americans would have ever got involved, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I don't think I would be. We would have eventually got involved, but we would have not had the revenge on our minds. Yeah, you're possibly right. You probably would have got involved at some point. But I think that's what drove America into it, was the revenge against the Japanese. Because you guys, like I say, the Germans wasn't any threat to you guys whatsoever. It was the Japanese what was, and that's why your all intention was to defeat Japan. But yeah, I totally agree with that. And I guarantee, I'm thankful for all the American lives that got lost in all countries. What was involved. They poked a sleeping giant, so to speak. They did, yeah. So they say that they hit a pin straight through. They did a sledgehammer straight into Pearl Harbor. What they did to Japan was only a pinprick, but that pinprick went straight into the Japanese heart, and that was the thing what they was fighting for. They knew obviously the devastation they couldn't really do until the atomic bomb got dropped on Hiroshima, but they knew that if they attacked this certain point, it will cut down Japan's hope for victory, and that's what they did. And that's where it goes in then into strategic planning and that. And it don't matter, you can bomb every single house and every single freaking building in the world, but if you don't hit this precise moment, that's not going to do nowhere near as much damage as if you do hit the exact heart of where it started from. And that's what the Americans did. They hit Hiroshima with an atomic bomb, and that was it. Boom, ended. You know what I mean? Because the Japanese never even saw anything like this at that time. So yeah, they basically fucked it for themselves, really. Right, that was the immediate bombing attack that hit Tokyo right after the Pearl. Yeah, it did. Yeah, and I think that's what cut that. I mean, don't get me wrong, Japan was a tough force. They started taking over the Philippines round here. They took over parts of Asia straight away. But I don't know. I think a lot of things. It would have been slightly different if just one thing didn't went to plan. I think it would have been a lot different. They were one of the most powerful in the world. Yeah, they were. But the thing is, if in case you didn't notice, they didn't like the Germans either. They hated the Germans. They just wanted an empire themselves, just like they have done for many, many generations. Now, if you watch the documentary on Netflix about the samurai, they wanted trying to attack China because they wanted an empire all the way back to then. So they wanted a massive empire just for themselves, just like what Hitler wanted. He wanted a massive empire, so he tried taking the empire, just what Japan did, But isn't it funny, in World War One, the Italians actually was part of our allies. They was helping us fight against the Germans, but in World War II, they ended up liking the Germans and joined the Germans. So it was only Germany and Italian what actually was besties, basically. And I think one more country, I can't remember which one it was, but there was one more country what was joining. It was another small country. But it just goes to show it doesn't matter how small you are, if you've got proper generals and proper strategic planning, you'll get far. You might not get all the way, for example, how Hitler found out in the end, but you will get quite far. But then it goes down on you whether you're going to say, you know what, we've got this far, we're not going to keep pushing it, because if we do, we might have a chance to lose it all. And that's what Hitler did. He didn't know how to stop, he didn't know when to stop. And that's what I think failed him, to be honest. I think that's what started him losing, to be honest. That was because of Mussolini. Yeah.
Bakit? Niligo na si Kyle?
So, guys, my phone is nearly dead now. We've been going for an hour and 50 minutes. I think, yeah, we're going to end it now, guys. He had it all. He did have it all. Yeah. And he had brilliant generals, but even some of his generals didn't like some of the ideas he was coming with, and some of them actually turned his back on him and actually got executed for it, for treason. Because even one of the generals what didn't like the idea of was the mass murders of the Jewish people, you know, just because he'd turn around to Hitler and say, I don't like this idea, I think we can go about it in a different way. And Hitler didn't like the answers to it. The secret vote is live now too, convenient. Oh nice, I'll go over to them and say hi then. They believe as many as 250,000 Americans would have lost their lives if we had to invade Japan. You probably would be right, yeah. Because you've got to think, when you invade a different country, we don't know that country, they do. So they could use the ground, especially in Asia, as their advantage. So they might not have the numbers to defeat the invading force, but if they use the ground properly, they can take a larger invading force to the point where they'll win. You know, just like what dates back all the way down to Williamson Wallace in Scotland against the English. He used the ground of Scotland against the English, and that's how we won so many battle invading force, which was the English. But anyway, I think we'll save the rest for another day. But thanks for all who's coming in, guys. We really do appreciate it. Medieval, Punches, Bill,
Thank you so much, guys.
Nubs, thanks again for the $2 donation.
Thank you so much.
It's really nice of you. Thank you so much. And the Templars. Yeah, the Templars, yeah. Hey, that reminds me, I will be going to the Templars cave to do an explore when I get back to the UK, and the Templars ruins as well up in Yorkshire. So yeah, thanks guys, much appreciated.
Everybody.
Stay
See
safe.
you again tomorrow.
And we'll try again. If internet goes well, we'll try again tomorrow, guys. Same time as it always is going to be. Alright guys, so
afternoon here.
much appreciated, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.